Okay, so in this video, we're going to be going over the process for getting videos on our website. Uh, in the end, we'll probably just be embedding YouTube videos, but we're not there yet, so we can actually just have our own players just to put whatever videos in that we want. And for that, we'll be using Flyer Video, which I mean, they had this site in the GitHub. But since I had originally installed it, they have been merged into VidStack. I think that the setup that VidStack gives is actually easier to understand. So don't even search for that. Search for VidStack, and you get this in their GitHub. So you go to their GitHub, you go to Quick Start, and we are programming in Vue. So we can just click this, and that brings us here. And you can just select the different options. Obviously, we're in Vue. You don't need to have a bundler with it at all. And we want to do videos. And we can just still use a Pyre layout. And then they basically give you the commands to take care of it. So go ahead and come here. Go ahead and start installing it. npm install. We've got. They want us to put this inside of the ts config.json. So I think we just, this goes in the compiler option, so really we just need to throw it in here. So we'll just get rid of this, cut that out, and go ahead and throw it. Doesn't really matter where, but throw it here with the comma. There we go, did that. Configure view. They want us to throw this inside of main.ts. That our app layer, just throw that there. Not sure, do we need both of these? Let me see one of these. Look at anything. Or do I only have to import it inside of main TS? I guess so. Looks like I took all of it, huh? Alright, I guess take all of it. We'll take all of it and go throw it inside of our main.ts. Just import it. Font. And these. Block. No semicolons. And player markup. Okay, so we got this. And then this would allow us to actually have thingy. So let's go try throwing this somewhere. The road here. It's got this template here. We don't want that. Already have a template. Complaining. What is that? Shouldn't be dots here, huh? Why are those dots there? That's weird. Okay. So now we have a video. Cool. Okay, so before we can add in our video flipper or add something that can video flip, we'll need a place for our sources, since that's where we're putting it. Or that's where I stuck it. Okay, so let's quickly work through that. Just and go to this section. Have another give. Okay, I'll have a header line. This is sources. Here we go. Yeah, there's some styling for it, but yeah. There are two different ways that I've kind of done this, and the M4A section is kind of formatted this way, where it's just basically an orderly it happens. But in the Jesus section, I actually kind of group things together a little differently, so it's not necessarily in the order that it happened, but just gonna go with this way. So we're fine. Just look at that, getting started. Good. And we'll need that in some more styling. So we have our A elements, which are hyperlinks. Um, and I'll just take this one as an example. You'd have a link to something, it'll just take one. Don't need to go that hard. This href property is what the actual link is. And this blank causes it to open up in another tab instead of opening up in the same tab because you want it to open up in another tab. So that's all that's doing. Yep, it's two of these. No bueno. Okay, and we have all of this in a paragraph, and we're just aligning it to the left. Again, this other one's a little different, but I mean, yeah, just gonna do it this way. So let's throw it in between a paragraph and align that paragraph to the left. See what we got so far. Looking like this. Not in the left. No border. No nothing. Let's say line equals left. Why did you not go? Maybe because it doesn't have a size, but let's just keep going. Oh, it's also in here. And it's getting. No, it's not. It's not in here. So no reason to get flexed that way. But okay, we'll keep going. And we also want um oh say links and a line break there. We'll also want a little section to put in our extra stuff where that actually goes. Although this isn't a div that's left align, but I'll just keep the same. Doesn't particularly matter. But I'm just going to keep it the same for now. And we will left align this div. The line have a span in it. Hmm. Well, it's not much value in typing that out. Span button for flipping. We will get to that. And I don't know. Okay. We already have that link, so now it's kind of the same. Um, but we'll get to that button. We have no paragraph in this case. I have no paragraph at all. Have no links. I don't need that. Or is this still that? Is this one? Or this one? Oh, looks like it. Looks like it. Line breaks after spans button that we don't have yet. This line break in the ref. Okay, so that looks the same. Let's get some styling on it. So this is left aligned and this is centered, which is kind of how we want. I think it's just small. So what we can do is start to get some of our formatting, which in our font sizes, we have a bunch of stuff for the different headers. Let's just copy those all. Let's just copy all of them. There's a font size, there's text decoration to say that it's underlined so that it should be bold. Let's just copy all our headers out of this project and go throw them in the font sizes of the other project. Okay. It made it bigger and it made it underlined. Aside from that, I think our sources should also have I should have a thick border and stuff and some margin around it. We had a class for that. So that would be in layout. I'll just copy this, go throw it in layout. And in a logo, put this class. Gone. Views about uh, are here. So that class getting started. Sources up here. This is on a div. The whole thing's in a div. So the whole thing should be in a div. Both of these, and it is. Uh, mm, Class equals. Okay. Do we actually copy that? Got it all rounded. We're getting there. Okay, so now we can actually fix this. Okay, so couple things. Oh, we don't need a header or toolbar, ion title, none of this anymore. Didn't need it. For this full screen true, we actually don't need that either. If we got rid of it, if you're looking at the scroll bar, see that all it really does. I actually think this looks better anyway, but yeah, don't need that. Okay, so to actually get this right, we actually need to put this in a div, actually. Put this in a div, and this is what we want to flex center. This would cause it to grow. We'll flex center this, basically. When it comes to rounding this, it seems like in the other project I just, see, border radius, I ended up just in the layout for this one. Yeah, just basically putting a border radius on every div. Um, and what that does is if there is a border, that's what the radius will be. It still has to have a border for the radius to count for anything, but if there is a border, it sort of, I guess, just defaults to that. So I think that's fine. Go ahead and throw that and put it into style. I think that's fine. Okay, so now we have our border radius. There's also something else that we can do, which comes in handy later when we need to adjust it. We call it class, and this we'll call this content width, basically. And with this, um, go to layout. I'd already been messing with this, but we'll ignore these for now. I've been experimenting a little bit just to see what might do better than the other project. Say 90 view, say width is 90 VW. And with this, you can sort of control the width of the page, basically. So if we at some point wanted the width of all our pages to be smaller, we just come here and that would just make it smaller, basically. But we'll leave it at 90. Okay, what else is wrong? There's a space here. We go to our, what is that? This one. Yeah, don't need that. In this, we would say class equal rainbow text. And yeah, this will serve as our button for when we want to flip things. Okay, so you can go ahead and copy what's in here inside of the chat one that way. one of them can serve as when we don't have two videos, and one can serve as when we do have two videos. That would, we'll have the versions basically. Store it up here or something. Okay, so I'll just still go ahead and go to here to get this working. Okay, so yeah, need to work on a new fancy component, which would be main project and components and fancy, and it's this video flipper. Okay, let's go ahead and add in a new file. Video flipper dot q, and this the script setup. Language. Yes. Okay. 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 So, yeah. So you can probably tell, like looking at this, but this is a video. And this is a video. So we have two videos. There's a div that contains the front video and a div that contains the back video. Um, yeah. And then most of this is mostly CSS really making this happen. And we just had some classes and some TypeScript to make it work the way that we want. Um, I guess this is pretty pretty simple, right? We basically have this video, right? Just copy this and get rid of the buttons. I'm copying some that we should already have. Not going back to that, but just doing it now. And this will be our front video. Will serve as our front video. So call this class front video. And within this whole thing, we have a video card. The whole thing is basically a card that's being flipped, and there is a container that's holding that. So just classes and classes and classes, really. So we need another one of these. This will be the back video. The back video, have a class on top of this to hold the card, class on top of that to hold the video flip container, basically. Container and video card, right? So this card holds everything. The container holds everything. Okay, that's basically it for the HTML. It's up, feeding in our parameters and stuff, right? Um, so for the video source, we're gonna need props, right? Because we're gonna be feeding in our front video and our back video, basically. So go define props. We have those two variables for sure. Uh, a front video and a back video, and these will get fed in. So this will feed our colons. Got our back video. We got our front video. Okay, and yeah, I guess we'll work on this before we set it in and stuff. So that's pretty self-explanatory. We'll need rough or rough from view. Okay. Some more things, styles and whatnot. Oh, um, I guess really, let's get our CSS down, and then we can explain the logic and the TypeScript. This is scope styling. We've got our video container here, which is a class. got our video card, which is a class. Oh, got our front video, some class. Back video, which is class. All those classes, and then we've got the video card with another class on that, which will tell us if it's flipped or not. And we have a video flip button, which is really the rainbow button that we're going to be pressing, basically. So I'll go ahead and put that there, and that's just so that the button doesn't have a background, because we will be using a normal HTML button instead of the ion button, because that one was giving me issues with the sizing and making it fit within the paragraph and stuff. So we're just going to say that that button doesn't have a background, basically. Um, yeah, so position, relative, and absolute is just something that you use in CSS with different classes and classes, basically to have, um, yeah, positioning that's uh, just based upon each other, basically. I can't even explain it because most of this is still magic. I did watch a video to show me how to do this, and I will include that in the sources. Gotta give that guy credit for sure. But yeah, the height and width is all pretty normal stuff. The newer stuff, I guess, is the transform styles has preserved 3D. This transition, I guess, we've done some teasing in and out and stuff. Um, and this tells it it's flipped, basically rotating the card 180 degrees. And this back face visibility. So you have the front of the video, the back face visibility when you're flipping it just says that the back of the front of the video should not be visible. It should show nothing. And that's what allows you to see the back of the video, basically, when it's flipping. And the same thing is true. The back of the video, you don't want to see the front of it. If that makes sense, just hiding it. Probably not, but yeah, CSS can really seem like magic sometimes. So yeah, I guess I'll just copy the stuff then. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the classes. But yeah, I can definitely explain the TypeScript way better and all of this stuff. Okay, so this flipping variable is what's going to tell us if the video is currently being flipped. And the reason that we have this for true and false is basically so that a user can't keep pushing the button. Because if you push the button while it's in the process of flipping, it makes weird things happen. So that's basically just saying that it's in the process of flipping, and we just use this basically to disable the button. This flip class, basically, it's either nothing or it's flipped, and we use it as a class to say if it's flipped or not, which is this class down here, which gets stuck on the video card. So we have the video card here and this class, and then we have the variable class, which can either be nothing or it can be flipped, and that's why you have dot video card dot flipped. And if both of those classes are present, that's how we know that we need to flip the card. Basically, when this class is applied, which tells us that we need to flip it. And for the display first video and display second video, we're basically using that as a style on the display for the videos, basically setting to display them or not to display them, or just setting the display, or now we're going to set the display to none when it's flipped. And in here, we're just saying which way we're flipping it, basically, right? If it's not been flipped, then we would be flipping it. Otherwise, it would be the opposite of that. And they're just basically reversed, right? And here we have a timeout, right? When we actually set the classes to flip it, we allow for basically half a second. 1,000 milliseconds would be 1 second. So this is like half a second that we allow before we continue. So, and then there's the define expose, which is what it makes this function visible to the parent component, and it makes this variable true, whether or not we're flipping or not flipping this boolean. It makes it also visible to the parent component. So I can show that once we get there, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yep. I guess since we've talked through it, can just go through it. We have this question mark here, just out, right? Because we also scroll to the did miss that scroll to the top of the page. And if we didn't have this, it's possible that this element may not exist. So it complains. We could also make this uglier. We could do like the uh var or const top of page element equals this, right? We would do that, and then this is, I think, like one of the standard formats you'd see where it says if this, right? So if it exists, then we would take this, and then we would scroll, and we wouldn't need the question mark because we would already know that, yeah, it's definitely not null, it's definitely not undefined, but this is way uglier. So I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically it. And since we talked about it, I think it's good for me just to copy this stuff now. Well, might as well just copy the whole thing. Log. Okay, so now we can actually try using that component and importing it. So we'll use that here. So we won't have this here. Instead, we would have our video flipper. Video flipper, and I'll need to import it, and then we'll just throw in the sources. We don't have to add the second tag. I like the short form better. Okay. And this is in fancy. Video flipper from fancy. Okay, and in this case, we want to even the front video and the back video. Again, our front video, so the colon equals that. Yeah, let's go ahead and put, these will be long, so go ahead and feed those in the back video, and that'll be equal to this. I guess we could also feed in our thumbnails. Haven't really gotten there yet, but let's just say front video thumbnails equals, and we'll have to add something new for that if we want to keep those basically. Shouldn't exist in the back video. For our back video, we can just go ahead and come here, and I'll just add a place for it. Just as an example, most of this is just as examples. Features.u. Okay. And we will just throw in our Jigglypuff Hunter video there. Okay. So for this one, okay, let me just get a format for that. Like this. Seems like there's something else I'm missing. Or rather, it's not a it's a string, so I guess it's not a variable, so maybe that's the problem. Well, that probably is the problem, right? We don't have to use it like it's a not a variable, and this equals this, and we will just want our Jigglypuff Hunter video. This ain't quite right. This is end about. Mhm. Did I name the folder .vue? I did. Not like that. That's silly. slash about on the video. Okay. These slashes are the other we. And two abouts. Don't want two abouts. Okay, so now we have two videos. Have these thumbnails. Don't have other thumbnails. That's okay. Should be fine even if we didn't have any. So let's add another parameter, another prop that we're going to define here. Okay. So these thumbnails for the front one. So this is a variable, and we'll feed it in like it's a variable. Second one, we don't actually have any, so that's fine. Okay. Font video thumbnails, front video thumbnails. Okay. So now we have this stuff fed in. We do not need this. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Nothing that I can see. I'll get us to figure out what's wrong. Okay, well, obviously these properties don't belong to the previous page button. Go ahead and cut those out and then throw them into the video flipper. Can also get our top of page ID where it needs to be. Okay, this should be around the video flipper. Get that out of here. Okay, ID that we're looking for is top of page. Just go ahead and put that in here. ID equals. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens now. All those buttons. Oh, wait a minute. Previous button should be on the other side. Okay. Okay, it plays at least. But we don't have a button for this. And we need to work with this. So, getting back to our define expose in order to call this function and to get this variable, right? We'd come here and we need to set a ref on it. And we'll say ref is equal to, I guess, video flipper. What did I call it? So that's video flipper, I guess. That's our ref. Okay, so we would need to import. This is a reference to the element. Import ref from view. Here we have a variable called just var video flipper equals the ref. Could be a constant, could be a let, doesn't actually matter, but I like the var because it's shorter. You don't have to use that if you don't want. So yeah, so now we have a reference to this element, to this component, and we have its function exposed and this variable right here exposed. So we can here make this a button. Let's see. And we just use a regular HTML button this time. And at click equals, we have this, and then we call our function, which is to flip the video. It's containing video flipper, dot flip video. Must be something else wrong. And you'll look to see what we're getting there. No, it looks about the same. And yeah, and it's just I guess we just left the span on the inside. Might have been able to get away with just putting the text in between it, but I guess, oh, shouldn't this be? Huh, why is that? Normally I wouldn't, normally I wouldn't do that. Video. No, it's not quite happy for some reason. Unless we can try after we actually get it to work. But yeah, does not exist on type string. Oh, I got this here. I'm treating it like it's a string. We don't want to initialize it to be an empty string. Okay, so now what? Okay, looks like it's doing something at least. What's this? It's not trying a little bit. Okay, progress at least. Yeah, progress. When it comes to the background, right? I mean, because if I had the ID there, what was this doing? It is scoped. I wonder if I put this somewhere else. Yeah, I did. I see. So this really wouldn't even be here. You can just go throw it in style. That way it'll be visible to the scoped, so it can't be seen by the parent component because we have it scoped. But if we just go throw it in style and that, and then we got to go put the ID on it, right? Um, on the button, ID equals like that. Okay, is that enough? Okay, now the background's gone at least. Okay, cool. The uh the URL for that video may not quite be right, but it's throwing us up at least. It's throwing us up, and it's at least flipping it. Let's see. If we zoom out, you see how it becomes a finger roller on top of it. It doesn't. See how I got messed up because we kept clicking it while it was in the process of flipping. Com- Composes it so we can disable the button. It's disabled equal to video flipper dot flipping, which is the other variable that we exposed. It's just flipping, right? So now you see how the finger changes, that we can't just keep spamming it, and that will keep the user from accidentally breaking it. I'm guessing that this URL for the other video is wrong. Let me just figure that out real quick. So some problems that, we'll run into with this video dot flipper, this boolean is actually undefined in the beginning, which causes problems. And we just have to put a question mark on it, and that fixes that basically. That way it'll wait until it's actually true. Something else, the thumbnails aren't working, and that's because don't have front video thumbnails. How they work. Okay, so the problem seems to be that I stuck this in my other Windows account. It's not in the right one, so well, let's quickly try to fix it. Just let's come here, here, source, assets, and none. We have no video. New folder, video, new folder, about, new folder, 110, new folder, 3, M4A beat. The trivial spellman wrong. And I was messing around with that. Okay. Hopefully, is that enough? We good. Nice. Okay, cool. Now it's working. And it'll drag us up. just, yeah, we gotta like zoom in to really even make it a thing. Okay, so I think that's about it. So we have this format for when we want to flip a video and this one for where we would just not be flipping a video. So we would really have these two different ones. Really wouldn't have this rainbow text stuff here in the chat one. But yeah, so aside from that, what there's could have some margin at the bottom of this. Um, Seems like sources should already have something for that. I would have thought. Did it really not? Mm, Sources. Yeah, margin top and bottom. Do I not have that? Um, CSS layout margin on the bottom. Is there something else going on, or do I not have the class on it? Let's see. If we want it to say here, yeah, sources, our class source just slapped right on it. But when we go, they would all need to be this way. Oh, is it because it's sources and not source? No, 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 no. That's exactly the same. Okay, we'll have to figure out, like, did that change something? No. Let's see if it moves layout. Right and bottom. Fitting. No, not that I can see. Okay, we'll have to figure out what's up with that. Okay, just realized what was wrong. So this is a good time to actually show the difference between margin and padding, right? This is a padding issue, right? So when you do margin on something like on a div, like this is the div, the margin is on the outside of it, and the padding is on the inside of it. And that's basically the difference. And a div is a very good way to show that. So like we see how far we can scroll down. If we increase the margin on it to 100, we can scroll down more because there's more margin on the outside of it. So that's all it is. We would just do, if we want it more padding on the inside, which I guess we can just do that, padding, say 100px, then this is on the inside of it. So that's all that is. I guess there must be like a line break on the bottom of this, but we don't have to put line breaks on the bottom. We can just use the padding, and that would basically take care of it. It's even enough. It's at 100% looking like. Yeah, actually, maybe this is a little too high, huh? What does it look like here? Not as big, I don't think. Okay, so don't need um line breaks on the bottom if there's nothing. There's nothing, don't need that. Where's the other one? Don't need any of that on the bottom. This is the chat features. This is the chat features. Okay. Sky again. There it is. This is the links, and this has a line break and a space, and we have sourcing. Let's just try a different amount then. Man, I hate how things just disappear. Let's try 5. Let's try nothing. Nothing seems just fine. Okay. Except for the top might make that negative if I have to, but so what's this guy's problem? We go to this one, Ionic framework. Mm-hmm. This Wait a minute. Too many Ionic frameworks. There's links Ionic frameworks, and there's this with the button, just a line break, and there's just nothing under it. Why is this one less forgiving? All of this is on a div in the sources. Uh, I wonder if I add another line on the other one, if it would do that. So it doesn't seem like it's getting its own spacing. Need a line gap in the font. Oh, this is spacing just fine. Or if it has something to do with the button, then let's see. Well, no, it doesn't make any sense. Because it's not a button at the bottom. And if I got rid of this isn't. Yeah, I know. So what is the difference between you two? Doesn't make any sense to me. Is it just because there's another div? Okay, so going over why the chat one has this extra line break on it out of nowhere, where the M4A features one does it. It appears that when you wrap this stuff in a paragraph instead of a div, that automatically adds a line break afterwards. And that seems to be what is actually happening. So that solves that mystery at least. And for the very last mystery of why this margin on top of this header one isn't the same, on this one, I noticed that when we copied these, some of these do have some margin in them, but we should move them layout just to keep things consistent. But aside from that, the other one also has inside of layout, it has this header one where the margin top is 5. So you can just copy that over and move the other ones over, and then it'll be consistent. So let me just throw this down there, and that's enough to make them exactly the same. But I go ahead and move this other stuff, this other margin, to see if I really want to keep it the same. I don't know, but we'll see. But just trying to keep things consistent. Since these are the same, we can do H4. We don't need to have 2 separate lines flowing on. Yeah. And we can remove these margins out of here to keep that consistent. Okay, so now that looks like it has been looking. Okay, one last problem that we need to fix, at least with the videos. So this one is sized fine, and the one that flips is fine, but this one is way too big and it is not sized appropriately. So we need a new layout, and yeah, this one's a little interesting. Yeah, we'll just use this video container class. It has a max width and a width, and you'll notice that those are exactly the same. And I'll show you why. I guess show you why in the other project, right? What I did. So we have this YouTube iframe, and we have this plier one, right? If we were here and we just said that this was the width, it becomes too big. The YouTube video is fine though. But if we have just the max width and we're saying that's how big it can be, and then it seems to work better. But then the YouTube one doesn't like that. So that's why we have both of these things basically. So you can just take this class, put this in layout, and then we can use this, and then we can use this to fix this chat one, which is too big. So if we come here, go to our chat, have this, we can put this on the player, this class equals video container. We do that, and now they're the same size. This one's not long enough to scroll, I guess, is what the difference is. But once we add a comment section and stuff, they should all be long enough to scroll. But Okay. We can, I guess, quickly just verify that. Yes. What the heck? Okay, now we can scroll. Okay, so now it doesn't move and it's the same, or we can be sure that it's the same and looking the same. So that's good now. So yeah, that should do it for this. Everything's working now as intended. So yeah, I will see you in the next video.